I'm so close. Hi, my name is Dino. I am from a city called Rotterdam. This is a city in the Netherlands, second biggest city after Amsterdam. I'm 25 years old and I've been traveling for 11 months now through Southeast Asia, trying to learn more about sustainable farming. At this moment now I'm at Napo Eco Farm, which is an educational kind of model farm close to the border with Thailand, so it's just in Malaysia. And here I'm volunteering, working in the gardens, working on the farm fields. I'm helping out with marketing stuff, doing a lot of different things, but all really interesting. So really enjoying my time here. And also the farm is really a beautiful environment where I can really relax and enjoy all the plants. So yeah, really good time. Before I left on my trip, I was thinking, well, what do I want to learn? And I also wanted to travel, and I figured out I want to learn more about how to produce healthy food, do it in a way that is good for the environment, and provide livelihoods for people who live there. So then I decided to go traveling in Southeast Asia. I chose Southeast Asia because first it's really quite easy to travel there, it's quite cheap too, and also a lot of interesting projects. So I started 11 months ago and I started in Nepal for 3 months. I had a great time. There I learned a lot of stuff. Then I went to Cambodia, went through to Thailand, to Malaysia, spent 3 months in Malaysia, and then I went for a month in Sumatra, then went back to Malaysia. My 11 months in Southeast Asia are over now. For me it was a really good time because I got a lot of practical experience and also really found out like how are farmers living here, like what are their struggles, how are they doing it, also how is the culture related to farming. To me it was really valuable, and I think this trip will give me a lot of tools in the future, because in the future I might want to bring sustainable farming practices to other farmers. So now I better understand like what do farmers have on their minds and what can be sustainable farming for them. I think there needs to be a lot of changes in the world. Now we have a system in place which we now realize it's not the right system, because it's based on trying to have infinite growth with resources that will run out soon. At least our system is based on these resources that will run out soon. So that's fossil fuels, stuff like that. One of the major changes is that we need to all become aware, and I think nature is helping us become aware, because nature is not really taking it anymore. So we're seeing like all these events happening, like climate change, like weather patterns changing, drought periods, flooding, and now we're slowly becoming more aware of the faulty system that we're having. And I think we need to change this faulty system in a system that will run on resources that are renewable, that are sustainable. We all need to try and find ways to make use of these resources. One of the major sectors which has a role in that is farming, and that's also why I chose farming as my own way to make change. I think farming needs to be done in a way that it's actually not exploiting natural resources, but it's regenerating them. How can we use resources that are renewable and also for farming? So there's like water, sunlight, all these things that has to be used on the farm. How can we best utilize these resources, and with these resources regenerate the ecosystem essentially? So it's a way of farming that will try not to destroy the soil, not to cut down too many forests, better valuing the ecosystems and its resources essentially.
How are you changing the world, Dino?
Well, I try to change the world by spreading, at least trying to spread farming techniques that are restorative to ecosystems. For me, I really want to find these techniques that are good for the ecosystem, but at the same time also provide livelihoods for farmers, because if you only look at the ecological factors, then people simply won't do it. So for me, I think it's really important that I find ways to consider the ecological, the economical, but also the community. And I think if you can make techniques that involve all three and bring them to other farmers, then me together with all these other people, we can really start changing our way of farming, because farming is such an important aspect of society. By changing the way of farming, we can change the whole society. So in short, that's kind of how I'm trying to change the world.